Hi, this is Darius Barazandeh, and we are now in week 2 of the Awakening Effect event. And I wanted to let you know about the sessions this week and what we did, and the free activation, energy, soul healing practices that each caller did. Now, one of the things that we do at UWell's Revolution, if you've just found out about us through YouTube, is we interview some of the world's top healers, teachers, and masters every day live from Monday to Thursday. People call in, they get energetic help, but they also get a very special activation that you can listen to right now. And an activation is really an energy experience. It's a transformational doorway that opens you up to higher energy, to moving lower vibrational fields out of your own energy field, and really connects you into your truth. And I want to share what these were and how incredible they were. We opened up two of our most popular sessions from the previous week, which is Lynn Waldrop and Segmet. Now, Lynn is an energy healer. She's known as the body channel. She actually has the ability to dive into people's bodies energetically, and their body will tell them what is going on and what needs work. Lynn actually did a very special activation to let go of frequencies and ideas that may be in your energy field, your consciousness, your awareness, that come from family and ancestral patterns. So if you feel like your mother was a certain way at a certain age, and you are invariably going to become like that, like maybe at 50 she had trouble walking or had hip pain, and you start noticing, wow, I'm sort of taking that shape, so to speak. You don't necessarily need to follow that route. And we talked a lot about DNA and how it can be changeable through light, and some interesting studies. And Lynn has also included, right if you click this link, a special gift that you'll find right around the 40-minute mark of her call if you decide you just want to fast forward. That call is available all weekend, and I'll post the link to the replay page down below. Segmet was another incredible guest. She is what I call a hybrid human. She activates your higher dimensional DNA, and her presence on these calls is really pretty much kind of like a higher dimensional doorway. You're going to feel really good. You're going to connect into more of what you are. And if you're dealing with abundance challenges or anything holding you back, you're going to want to click the link and go right to this call and start listening. And again, I do say you want to get the whole call experience, but if you're like, hey, I just want the activation, I tell people, all right, we'll jump to like maybe the 40-minute mark, and you'll find it right there. Now, our next call was really profound. I want to jump back here. We have Shamise Daniel. Now, Shamise talks about breaking the seals that have been binding humanity to a certain level of awareness. And one of the things that I think is really important that we're starting to realize is that throughout humanity there is a 13 strand DNA helix that's being activated. Now, I've heard this, and maybe you have heard it as a 12 strand DNA. She explains that there's an iron core crystal of Mother Earth that's also part of our DNA that we are actually connecting to, and that's the additional 13th strand. But what's happening is people all over the planet are waking up, but we're also realizing that there do not need to be violent acts, trauma, suffering, hunger, and all of the things that create scarcity on our planet. And she reveals some shocking news about the origins of this, where it comes from, and the energetics that hold it in place, and how actually we are breaking out of that every single day. And she does an activation to start breaking those seals. Now, Brian Vesco is another incredible guest. He's an inventor that actually discovered a dimensional column of light through tensor rings that are very specific frequencies set forth by very specific measurements in wire braided copper. And many of these measurements trace their origins back to ancient Egypt. He has a number of incredible tools, as well as do all of these guests, that will help you to maximize your energy experience. Now, if you're hearing this call, I mean, here's a picture of a lady that used one of these rings, and her auric field changed in a very short period of time. It looks like this was literally about 10 minutes and 2 seconds. Her complete auric field changed. And if you notice down here, the field's actually balanced. So you have your body field, your mental field and your emotional field, all balancing. Whereas here, you can see it looked like she was more in this field. So it's really profound, Brian's work, and the tools work instantaneously. They start to work here, you saw in 2 minutes, and they also keep working. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't tell you about these last two gentlemen. These are even, I don't want to say more mind blowing, but it just gets better and better. Ken Rolla is a scientist, an inventor, and an engineer. He had extraterrestrial contact that led him to truly understand ways that we can remain healthy in an era of pollution from electromagnetic fields and EMFs. And we've had a number of people concerned about 5G and the effects of it and how we're going to actually hold our frequency. One of the things we learned are very simple ways that you can use natural items that cost really pennies per serving. You can get them, anybody can get them, to literally turn on the scalar energy, which he calls the God source energy, or that super high luminous light energy that is also within our body, and actually create a connection point between the outside scalar coming in from the universes and the black hole galaxies, and also what's in our body through consuming certain types of Ormus nutrients. We talk about it, ways you can do it. It comes from volcanic ash. But here's the other thing. He also talks about ways that we can keep the scalar energy in our life and in our energy field so that we are not affected by anything around us like EMF and so forth, including 5G. Plus, he shares a amazing activation to reclaim the parts of you and the knowledge from past lives. Me and Ken both, during our experience, went to another lifetime where we were some sort of blue being and lived in a desert climate. A lot of other people had some interesting experiences, and we gained the wisdom from that. Ken also had an experience with extraterrestrials who started giving him ideas on some of this higher dimensional tech. So this one is super high quality. This guy is top notch, and he's an amazing human. A lot of great stuff in this, so take a listen. And oh my gosh, another one that was my favorite, I'm going to scroll up here, was the beautiful Etana. And Etana is one of those beings that is just pure love, light, and harmony. And he introduced us to a very powerful theme and frequency called effortlessness. And if you've been struggling in your life, or you've been trying to work through different things, I want you to think about the idea of effortlessness, of raising the frequency in your heart, raising the vibrational continuum in your heart field so high that things come to you without effort. It's literally effortlessness. And it is possible. It is part of what he's teaching and how he's going to do it for us in some of his work. And he even has the availability to go deeper and get one-on-one help with him if you want a private session. So we've got some incredible things going on. There's stories about what happens when people connect in with Etana. There's all sorts of things going on. So we love you, and I know it's a lot, but we spent all of our hundreds of hours finding and putting together this amazing series and finding some of the top people and raising the vibrational level of everybody on the show. And this is where we're at. It was truly a blockbuster week, and these sessions are available between now and Sunday at midnight. So I will post the replay link in the description down below. You can just click it and you'll be on the same page I'm looking at, and you'll be able to jump in and start listening all weekend until Sunday at midnight. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon.